I'm David Mason, the Director of Public Health for the town of Sandwich, and we're doing public service announcement number 23. Today we have with us Guy Boucher, the Director of Recreation, Dave DeConto, the Director of Natural Resources, and from the Police Department, Lieutenant Jason Keene, and we'll be talking about the opening of beaches. That's to occur at the end of this week. As we always start with, Chief Burke will give us a rundown, the status of our COVID numbers as of this date.
Morning, Dave. As of June 24th, we still have 4 positives, 95 recoveries, 3 deaths. Out of those 4 positives that we've talked about, there's 2 in assisted living facilities that we are trying to transition over to the host community for those assisted living, so we're still working on that. And the new positives that we have, healthcare workers, so it's still fitting the criteria that we're seeing with positive tests.
Very good. So what we'll do is we'll start our discussion today to give you, make you aware of where we stand with the beaches and what is occurring with the beaches. Again, from day one, we kept the beaches open here and put it out there to the public that we'll keep the beaches open as long as people were respectful of the situation and respectful of each other. And we'll talk about the guidelines in place today, and we'll have Guy Boucher kick that off.
All right, thank you, Dave. So I'm Guy Boucher, Sandwich Recreation Director. So we will start staffing with lifeguards and gate attendants this Friday, the 26th, at all of our beaches. Some changes that you'll see this year right off the bat is that our 3 ponds, Snake Pond, Ryder Conservation in Wakeby, and Oakcrest Cove, Peters Pond, are now residents only.
So let's just get that clear. So the freshwater beach accesses are resident only. That's not the norm.
That's not the norm. But for this year, because the beaches, are smaller than what we can pack into the parking lot, they're going to be residents only, and that's a Sandwich resident beach sticker is required. So if you come up and say I'm a resident, you want to buy a day pass, you will not be able to. You need a Sandwich resident beach sticker. And if you're an out-of-towner and you buy the non-resident beach pass for the season, it's still a non-resident. It will not work at the ponds. You need it's a blue sticker, Sandwich resident beach sticker. At the saltwater beaches, so the former Drunken Seal parking lot, Town Neck, Boardwalk, East Sandwich, the 2 East Sandwich parking lots, those are open to anyone. We are not restricting at this time any parking. But when the lots fill, they will be posted full, and then at that point, it will be 1 in and 1 out. One of the major changes you'll see at those locations is that we are only taking credit cards. We will not take cash. So it'll be cash free. We're trying to limit our exposure taking cash. So all of our gate attendants will have the ability to swipe credit cards. And at the Drunken Seal or First Beach location and the parking lot on the corner of East Plow Neck and North Shore Boulevard, there are parking meters. So you'll have the opportunity to do that as well.
So just as far as beach stickers, where people pick up their beach stickers?
Yep. So if you need a beach sticker still, you can go to the tax collector's office Monday through Friday.
The Town Hall Annex.
Town Hall Annex, and you can pick up your beach sticker there.
I think you can get them online also, so they're available online through the website. So, and then anything else you wanted to add to that?
Well, just our lifeguards will be out in force at the 3 ponds. We ask that you keep 6 feet distance from the stands. They will be wearing. They're all been issued, masks and face protection. Obviously, if they're in the water or if you're in the water, you do not have to wear a mask. But if you're on the beach and you can't give yourself that 6 feet distance, then we ask that you cover up. We have portable restrooms at many of our locations. Town Neck, we have the trailer, the bathroom trailer that's been installed. Snake Pond has restroom. But all the restrooms this year, regardless of how much capacity they have, are 1 in and 1 out. So be respectful of that. keep your distance, make sure you're washing your hands, and understand that, one person in, and then once they come out, then you're welcome to come in. All the restroom facilities are clean, including the portable restrooms, are cleaned once a day.
Okay, because that meets the state's protocol for that also.
Correct.
So it's adhering to the state protocol. As far as enforcement issues going on, I know there's been some discussions. Lieutenant Keene, you want to jump in as far as what people should expect and how things will be handled this summer?
Sure, yeah. Like every year, we'll be increasing our presence at the town beaches, increased patrols. Our ATV teams will be out on the town beaches different periods of time. And if anyone sees anything, any kind of activity that they're concerned about, and obviously any emergency situations, call 911 right away. You can call our business line, 508-888-3343. If you have any other concerns or just, something that you'd like to report, and we'll come out.
Very good, thank you. And I know as far as the gate attendants and the lifeguards, they're young people. As far as their high school, college age, they're out there following the guidelines that you have prepared for them also. So it's we're not looking for the public, to challenge these individuals. They're doing their jobs. And again, if you observe that, one of these personnel that work for the town, they're kids in your community, that if someone's challenging them, step up, help out. And they've also been directed to contact yourself and the police if there's an issue also.
Exactly, and honestly, they're there to remind people to be safe, to use common sense, to wear masks, but they're especially the lifeguards. Their job as a lifeguard is to prevent any water rescues or anything like that. But they're not. Their main focus is not to be telling people they're not 12 feet from the other towel, or put your mask on and things like that.
Right, so that's really on everyone else. And to speak to that, I know Dave DeCanto, the Director of Natural Resources, you deal with other issues out on the beaches. You've been putting signs up also?
Yes, and so I'm just here for several reminders today, reminding people that there are no dogs allowed on any town-owned beaches now. Bathing beaches, also the boardwalk, for the obvious reasons. No one likes to step in poo. You can't have that type of waste where people are bathing, as well as the bird protection, the piping plovers, lease turns at Town Neck and Salt Marsh Road, East Sandwich Beach. Please, please, please do not bring the dog. It's well posted. At some point during the season, if we find somebody, we're no longer going to be warning them. We are going to start writing tickets. As well as I'm on that theme as far as the dogs. We love dogs, but there are places in town where you can take dogs. There are plenty of conservation trails in town where dogs are welcome. But please pick up after your dog and dispose of the waste properly. Putting it in a baggie, leaving it on the gate is not disposing of it properly. If there's no receptacle, then bring it home. It's your dog. Please be responsible. As far as other issues in town, there are no fires allowed on any town beaches until July 6th per order of the selectmen. Once that is lifted, if they do indeed lift it, there are no cook fires allowed east of the boardwalk. That is the area where the piping plovers and the least terns like to nest. Please be respectful of that. We have found people that have been going through the fence. There has been some vandalism, and I would hate to be the one that calls this group and say, hey, I think it's time that we close this area. Please be respectful for everybody. And while on the subject of that, I would just like to say, from what I've seen and talked to people around, be patient with each other. Everybody's been cooped up for a while. We all like to enjoy the outdoors, but there's plenty of outdoors for everybody. And just a little bit of respect for each other. Wait your turn to go down a path. Don't be snipping at people because they're not fast enough for you. There's plenty of outdoors for everybody. Thank you.
Right. Yeah, thank you, Dave, for pointing that out. I guess, the point is that there's the ability to have fun. The beaches are open. There's set guidelines that aren't restrictive. They're just, one, to protect resources, and two, to protect each other. So as far as going forward in this beach season, we're asking you to be polite, adhere to those guidelines. Anything else you want to add, Guy?
I will just add, and it's up on the screen behind you, that you know, if you have concerns at any of our beach locations or throughout the town, we do have set up an email address that goes to the COVID command team and myself, and it's, you know, COVID-19 modifications, COVID beach concerns at sandwichmass.org. I just pointed, but probably doesn't matter. But so we will have that at the beaches as well. So if you see something at the beaches and you report it to our gate attendants, they're gonna hand you that email, and you can send in your concerns there, and that way we can deal with it.
Yeah, because there's multiple recipients of that email. It's one grouped area to cite those concerns. You'll be receiving the email. I believe Dave DeConto is, and myself also. So
And then the last thing I would say is just, let's keep our areas clean. You know, we do have some limited trash containers at the beaches, but as I said before, you know, the old Boy Scout motto, take only pictures and leave only footprints. If everybody does their part to take what they bring, then we'll keep our areas safe and clean for everyone.
So for those who are backpackers are familiar, if you pack it in, pack it out. You know, there's trash barrels down there. And the reason there's not a large volume is people abuse them also.
Right.
And you'll see that in other beaches. So we ask that you pack in what you pack in, pack out, and bring it home, and you can dispose of it there. Anything else anybody wants to add? Anything else we need?
Dave, I just want to mention water safety for everybody again. We were in Mashpee yesterday for the incident on Wakeby. We had a near drowning on Sunday at Snake Pond. I think in Dave's point about people being cooped up, we're seeing a huge uptick in water-related incidents. So if you don't know how to swim, use a flotation device. Please watch your children, especially at the boardwalk with an outflowing tide. People getting swept out to sea. We average one a week in the summertime. There just seems to be in the last 2 to 3 weeks, and I talked to the environmental police yesterday, they said it's just an abnormal uptick in water-related incidents. So water safety, watch your kids. If you don't know how to swim, be careful. Be careful in and around boats. If you're operating a boat on Peters Pond or any of the smaller ponds, stay away from swimmers. Don't create wakes where you're knocking people off of kayaks and paddle boards, especially with the next couple weeks coming up. I want to emphasize that because, again, what I saw in Mashpee yesterday, what we've seen in the last week or two, people really need to pay attention to water safety, especially now. So I just want to emphasize that point.
Very good point, Chief Brook, because you're dealing with that directly. So, I mean, that's very good to point out. It's a matter of just being respectful for each other also. So with that, I don't think we have anything else. So again, this group has, the recreation, natural resources, and the COVID team have put together a lot of work so you can enjoy the beaches. Again, your enjoyment of those beaches is dependent upon your behavior at the beaches. I can't emphasize that enough. We want you to enjoy them. Don't give us a reason to have to close them. Have a good day.